Good evening and welcome to the Mac Show. I am EJ and yours truly with me is.
Hi, I'm Sharon. How are you?
And I'm good. How are you, Sharon?
I was talking to the viewers.
Well, I'm talking to you. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay. All right. Well, tonight's show, as you all have seen, the topic is, will face masks protect you from COVID-19? That's a question to keep in mind. So, first, we're going to start with, what is COVID 19? COVID 19 is the current virus that is in the US. And it actually came from, is it China, babe?
Yes, China originated viral infectious disease.
And then 19 would signify the
The
year of
year, the year
2000.
that is in 19. Yes.
Okay, I was trying to get it out, but thank you for helping. So, several points I want to address with COVID 19.
And before you get to those points, COVID-19 is not only affecting the United States; it's affecting the whole entire world at this point in time. Well, because we're in the US, we're going to be speaking upon what's happening in the US.
All right. Anything else you want to say about COVID 19?
No, that was it.
Okay. All right. So, do you want to go ahead and dive into our key points for tonight?
Of course, go right ahead.
All right. Education, stimulus check number two, the phase two reverting and its modification, and of course, phase X. Now, with education, I read one particular thing that I read, an article regards to the CDC guidelines and the guidance, as far as with reopening up the schools in the fall. Um, of course, one thing I want to say, education is important. I don't know, we all know that. But as far as reopening up the schools, that is a big concern for all of us, especially with the numbers spiking as high as they are. Some would say this is the second wave, but actually it's not. I read that in an article that it's not the second wave, but as far as the spike, it's a bit much. Um, President Trump. Mm, Now, this is one thing that he said upon one of his tweets, that virtual learning is terrible. Now, in my opinion, virtual learning is actually good. Um, it's almost like as if, doing online schooling for college, because I know when I went to college, I took online courses because, at the time, that's just my preference. But with virtual learning, and then he also stated that with him and his administration, they're forcing schools to reopen, but then turn around to say that with the CDC guidelines and guidance, it's impractical and it is expensive. Hmm, why is that?
Well, for one thing, as far as like it's expensive, is because it's going to be virtual learning. That means that They will have to fund the schools to whereas the schools can purchase computers for every student that's going to do virtual learning, because not every household and every student has a computer in their home. So, therefore, for virtual learning, and the reason why he's saying it's expensive is because now the federal government is going to have to give the schools more money to make sure that they have all of the supplies and equipment so that they can do virtual learning. That's why he's saying that it's terrible, which I don't think is terrible, because if you stop spending all this unnecessary money on other things and give the schooling more funding, you wouldn't have this issue. So
Correct. I agree.
that's the reason why he's saying it's terrible, because if all the schools are going to go to virtual learning, that means that the federal government is going to have to fork over more money to education, which education they've been wanting more funding from the federal government for forever. But
Hmm.
the federal government is saying that they never had the money. We only have this amount of money to give you. So therefore, we can't give you anything else. So now that COVID-19 is forcing all these schools to basically go to virtual learning, because they don't want the kids to go to school, all the kids to go to school, and end up closing schools down because it's going to be more people that's going to get sick. So that's why
Right.
he's saying virtual learning is terrible, because that means that you're going to force the government to fork over more money.
Exactly. Because my thing is, even if, okay, you're forcing them to open up the schools, that also you have to take into consideration with these classrooms, there's what, at least 30 students per class. And then to do social distancing and being 6 feet apart, that cuts the classroom in half. So, are you going to hire more educators and instructors? Or, as you stated earlier when we was having this conversation, are you going to add on and build onto these schools to add more classrooms so this can take place? Because if not, then we have to do virtual learning in order to protect the students. And that's
Exactly.
with public schools, private, and even colleges. I mean, come on.
Right. And even with the colleges, all colleges, been virtual they have already had virtual learning in in college anyways.
Right,
From as far as I know, for years. So this is not nothing new as far as like virtual learning. It's just more or less that, with like high school and elementary, junior high, and all that, they didn't have that option. You had to go to the building to get your education. So now it's more or less like everybody needs to go to this virtual learning. Well, not everybody is actually going to have to go to that, but some of the schools that, like Davidson County, they're mandated when they open up, everybody is going to do virtual learning. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're not going to have the choice to either do virtual learning or you're going to go to the classroom. No, that's out. Just virtual learning, period.
right. And let me
Non-negotiable.
just put a pin in there because you're saying Davidson County. In case others may watch this, we're talking about Davidson County, Nashville, Tennessee.
Right.
Just in case some people may not know Davidson County. Where's Davidson County?
Right.
But
So
yeah,
Montgomery County, they're giving parents options. Either
mm,
you can send your child to school or you can do virtual learning. That's Montgomery County.
right. And 9 times out of 10, they gonna do virtual. I mean, because the average household, there is a laptop, a computer, or I don't know if tablets will work.
Well, tablets are going to work because you can still do the virtual learning on a tablet or a
Okay.
smartphone, but most households they only have one computer, and if they have multiple children in the home that's in different grades, you can't use just one computer or one
Right.
laptop in order to do virtual learning.
Right.
So
Gotcha.
so therefore they're not going to have they're going to have not the option, but they're going to have to give every student, which is over 80,000 students, a laptop or a computer. More than
Um,
likely they're going to do those little laptops or tablets or whatever. But tablets
um,
will actually be cheaper to do virtual learning on. So they're going to have to do that. Now, and also, they're saying that if the schools don't open, then they're going to stop federal funding. Cut the federal funding for schools if you don't open up. So
now, what sense does that make?
it makes no sense at all. And then what's her name? She out of Michigan, DeVos. She going right along with it, talking about yes, if the schools don't open up, we're going to push for cutting federal fundings to the school. That makes no sense.
It's
None.
none whatsoever.
I mean,
Absolutely none.
it's bad enough, the kids don't go to school half the time anyways because of weather, or you got all these little breaks that you give them:
Right.
spring break, winter break, fall break, uh
I mean, honestly,
all
they
those.
get so many breaks. Like when I was in school, we didn't have that many. Kids nowadays with school before all this happened, they was out more than they was in.
Right. So, and then you're not really funding, you're not giving the schools enough money to actually support the schools, and then you're going to cut the federal funding when you're not even giving what you should be giving to the schools.
And the thing
So,
and the thing is, and my question I want to put out there, okay, if they do cut the federal funding, will that not affect the academic level,
well,
the
it's not
grades
gonna
and stuff?
it's not going to affect the academic level because still, whether a child go to school or not, you can learn at home, you can do schooling at home. But what it's going to affect is um it's going to affect the number of teachers that's going to get paid. It's going to affect the number of schools that's going to have to remain open. By cutting the funding for the schools, you're going to be forcing schools to not open at all because they're not going to have that budget to even operate. So to threaten them to, if you don't open, we're going to cut the funding. It's
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, the federal
It's
government, they on some real shisty stuff.
yeah.
And it's not like the schools have a choice or an option. They have to open. So
Right.
so it's more or less that, okay, we're gonna open, but now we're gonna open to whereas we're gonna go to virtual learning. We're not gonna have the kids go into the schools because that's gonna be putting them at risk, especially with the high number of cases that has been spiking out of control.
Just within single days.
Right. And it's not just Tennessee that's being affected by this. You got New York, New Jersey, California,
Florida,
Florida, um,
Texas,
Texas. So you got all these states. Arizona. Did I say Arizona? Even
no,
Arizona is topping the charts now. As a matter of fact, Arizona right now is the state that has they have the most confirmed positive cases in a day out of all the states in the
Wow.
United States.
Wow. I believe I seen something online with the numbers, and I think it pulls up the data. Um, hold on, let's see. With that, because it shows like the numbers. Uh, let's see. You said Arizona?
Yes.
Yeah, because I know like the first Arizona is. See, these are not even in order. So,
Yeah,
the
I was
first
just
one is Tennessee. Oh,
yeah.
Arizona right here.
Hmm.
Confirmed 119,930.
Mm.
And the deaths they had is 2,151.
Right. So for a state that really wasn't, they had cases, but there wasn't, really talked about, like New York and New Jersey and all them,
Mm,
and for that state to come up and surpass New York and California all in a week, this virus is it's not going away anytime
right.
soon.
And
Um,
then it stated this is not like the second wave.
right,
We haven't even experienced that. We're still in the first.
exactly.
So just imagine with how it is now, that second wave is just gonna really hit like boom. But
Yeah, because then they was talking about how it was gonna die down. That's why they started opening everything up and
mm,
getting the economy back on track and all that. The economy is still not gonna be on track. The economy is not gonna be on track until maybe 2023.
is it remember the saying that you said um when you uh, had a call while one of your clients or customers said they just want to go ahead and skip to 2023 because and I was like, well, what happened to 2021?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah, because it was a client that I was speaking with on the phone, and and she was just like, I'm just ready for this to be 2023. And so I was like, what happened to 21 and 22? She was like, 2023, because 2021 we're still gonna be in this, and round about the end of 2021, that's when it's gonna start dying down. 2022, it's more or less you're really gonna be coming out of it and recovering it from it. And
Mm,
2023 is when you're just gonna have a sigh of relief, like a big old weight lifted off your shoulder,
for
because
real.
that's when everything will be back on track and everything is going to be back to normal. Well, I can't say back to normal because we're not going to go back to normal. That going back to normal is out of the question at this point in time. There is no more normal.
Yeah, and that's one thing I don't know. Like, I just haven't come into grips with the new norm. To be watching videos or be out and seeing people wearing face masks. It's like, is this real? I feel like I'm in a movie or something. Like, is this really how life is going to be from this point on? Like, is the world really ending? Like how they said when 2000 hit, the world's gonna end.
Right, exactly.
It just seemed like, okay, this is the beginning of it about to end. Cause I'm still trying to come in grips with like this is the new norm. And I can't wait to talk about these face masks because maybe we should go ahead and talk about them now.
Yeah, we can.
People wearing face masks all wrong. face mask, not mouth mask. Face, nose, and mouth cover. Why are you wearing it and just around your mouth? Why? That's not the proper way to wear the face mask. And I know you definitely have something to say about the face mask. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and say what you got to say about that.
Face mask. Lord.
Oh. Hmm.
I got to take a deep breath when I talk about these things.
Oh Lord, no, not a deep breath.
Yes, a deep breath. Just wear them, people. Please. Just wear them. Even though face mask is not the only thing that is going to help not spread this virus, you also have to do your social distancing, limit your outings. I mean, you have to go out. I mean, that's the given. You have to go out. You have to go to the grocery store. Some of us have to go to work if you're not already working from home. You're gonna have to go to the gas stations. Most people still want to go out to eat, get your nails, feet, hair done, go get your hair cut. Just wear your face mask and do your social distancing. Case in point, today I was in Dollar General.
Uh-oh.
I was in line,
Were you 6 feet?
and I was 6 feet, but this man came up behind me and stood closer than 6 feet. Even though my back was turned to him, I turned around with my face mask on, and he saw the look in my eye, and he backed up. I ain't even have to say nothing.
Wow.
Like, bro, give me 6 feet. 6 feet.
If
6 feet.
eyes could kill.
If you always tell me that my looks, I have that look.
Oh yes.
my facial expressions, you always tell me, Sharon, watch your facial expressions. When I turned around, even though I had on my face mask and he didn't see my whole face, but he saw my eyes, he backed up. I ain't even have to say nothing. Bro, you too
Mm,
close.
too close.
Too close. And 6 feet is, you know, even before this COVID-19 came around, giving me my personal space has been a saying, or give me 6 feet have been a saying forever.
Right. And we used to
And
joke about it, but
right.
for real, like 6 feet. Give me
Yeah,
6 feet.
give me 6 feet. Because 6 feet is your personal space. That 6 feet is your personal space. And you're invading that. So give me my 6 feet, bro.
Right. Yeah.
And you just don't have that. And people are not wearing their face masks. I went to 3 stores today: Walmart, Kroger's, Dollar General. And people are still not taking this thing seriously.
Right.
Wear your
Now,
face. Wear your face mask. It's nothing. If you don't have none, like it's too many places around here where you can get a face mask. And
right.
and Morgan and Morgan, if you text him, he'll send you a free one.
Hello. That's the
So
commercial. He said that out of his own
he
mouth.
said it out of his own mouth on his commercial, and gave his number. If you need a face mask, text him and he will send you a free face mask.
Right.
So right now there is no reason why no one should not have a face mask. And
Right.
and if you have gotten one and you wore it one time and you threw it away and you threw it away, don't do that. Take it, wash it out with some dishwashing liquid, hang it up, dry it out, wear it again. Or you can get a scarf, tie it around your face, whatever. Just wear a face mask. I mean, it's
It's
that
not
simple.
that hard, but yet then again, and not to justify, but then you also have those individuals that cannot tolerate wearing a face mask due to a medical issue, and that has been addressed periodically in the news, but you have to have, a doctor's consent not to wear it, especially with those that already wear like oxygen, the tubing and all of that, and then they have to put on a face mask on top of that. That's
Yeah.
kind of a bit much.
Yeah,
So for
yeah.
people like that, then they just need to stay home if they can. But if there's nothing wrong, just put it on. We're not saying wearing it 24 hours, 7 days a week, while you sleeping and all that, but just when you're out, put it on. Just you. Now, in the beginning, I want to ask this. Now, when this first happened, it was like wear face masks and gloves. Now, we've
Mhm.
gotten away from wearing gloves. Do you think with going back, or even just with the high numbers, that we still should do the gloves, or are we okay with not wearing gloves as well, and then just still washing our hands and using hand sanitizer and you know so forth? What do you think?
We're okay without wearing gloves because really wearing gloves was basically not it wasn't a good thing to wear gloves because case in point, if you're going to the store and you wearing gloves and you're picking up items, say for instance you pick up an item off a shelf and you
Mm,
don't want that item, you're gonna put it back on the shelf.
right.
So and throughout the store and you've been touching other things, so basically you're still transporting different germs to different items as you're in the store by wearing gloves. So gloves is it was pointless because the thing is after you leave the grocery store and before you take off your mask, you should have hand sanitizer, to whereas you would put the hand sanitizer on, then you take your mask off.
So that way you don't transfer those germs when you was in the store to your face mask that you have to wear.
Exactly. So wearing gloves, no. Now you need to wear gloves like when you preparing food and stuff like that. I
I
think
will hope.
you need to wear gloves when you prepare food because when you are, especially if you went to the store to get groceries so that you can cook your meal, those items that you're going to be using, like canned goods, fruit, vegetables, or whatever,
Mhm.
you have already touched those. So by you washing those off and washing your hands when you're cooking, just put on some gloves. But wearing gloves out in public, no. Unless you pumping gas, yeah, you can wear gloves. People been doing that forever. Even some gas stations, they will have little gloves out there for
Okay.
you to actually use while you're pumping gas. Because I know Mapco does that.
Okay.
Mapco does that, and Speedway does that. Only a couple of speedways that I have seen have the gloves out there. No, it's not Speedway. It's Thornton's. Thornton's do that as well. So it's Mapco and Thornton's, and I know everybody don't have a Thornton's in their area. We don't even have a Thornton's here in Clarksville, Tennessee. So, but when I do go to Nashville and I go to a Thornton's, they do have the gloves out there.
Now, one other thing to add to um, the face mask, and then we talked about the gloves and having hand sanitizer. Now, I know you know more about this. Now, in case you can't find hand sanitizer because it has been to the point where once this pandemic broke out, everybody was buying up tissue and hand sanitizer. Now, there is an alternative. If you don't have hand sanitizer, there's something else that you can use. And that's what?
Oh, you can make your own hand sanitizer by using 91% alcohol, aloe. Yeah, 91% alcohol and or rubbing alcohol and aloe,
Oh, okay. So
aloe vera.
so just those two.
Yeah, and you will mix those two together to whereas you can make your own hand sanitizer.
All right. So y'all heard that from the Max. It's Matt. Because she around here, she has 3 aloe plants. And they're not expensive. Kroger's have them for what, $2.99?
Yes.
For a small plant, honey. Just water that thing. Not often, but trust me, it will grow until you have to get you another pot to put it in. But as stated, she has 3 downstairs. And aloe is good for a lot of things because I actually use it for my hair. And she went and got like a whole bag of rubbing alcohol, and I'm like, "What is you doing?" Because even with like making wipes, she made her own wipes with the paper towels, and I was like, "Sharon, what you doing over there?" I'm making our own wipes. I'm like, okay, so and it works.
Yeah.
A whole lot of DIYs. Just go on YouTube. If you don't know, trust me, YouTube is the best spot. Will teach you how to do whatever. Even with down to making your own face mask out of some old fabric. Mentioned before, like some socks, whatever, so there's no excuse to where you don't have or can't get. Now, I don't know about making your own toilet tissue. Now that one I can't help you with.
Yeah, he can.
I can't. You
Mm-mm.
know, like we ain't gonna go there with that one. But yeah, so next is the stimulus check number 2. Right. Woosah. Yeah, woosah. Breathe.
Yeah.
Cause that one
It's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna be upset.
quite a bit. I don't follow up with it. Hey, if they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. Um, Reading, the schedule for the Senate, the calendar, and how they're on this um what is like a break or something right now until
On their recess.
Yeah, recess until actually July 7th, and they come back that month. Wait, no, 17th. I'm sorry, because we're past July 7th. 17th, and they come back on the 20th. Not to get into the numbers and the dates, but everything, if they do pass this second one, they have to do it on or before. Let me get it right. I think it's like August. I forgot what date it was. Because after that, then they go on their summer break. And when they get back from off of that, it'll be sometime in September. Now, it seems like there's a lot of people have not gotten the first check. Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And so, is it safe to say they probably won't? Or
If
is it a possibility that they will and may not get the second one if they pass that bill?
well, my thing is, if you have not gotten um your first check, they did say that you need to call the IRS yourself to figure out why you have not received your first check. Either you call them or you go on their website, because they have a website, to whereas on their website it has a FAQ, to where an FAQ, if people don't know what that is, frequently asked questions. If I have not received my first check, if you click on that link, it will tell you what you need to do.
Really? People don't know what FAQ is?
Some people don't. I'm just
Okay. All right.
so so if you still complaining that you have not received your first check, go on their website, click on that link, and we'll give you steps on what you need to do if you have not received your check, especially if you qualify for it.
Now, see, that's one thing. If you qualify, I just have a little concerned about that. And as we were talking earlier, you did make a valid point. But to bring up what my point was, why should there be eligible recipients of this if you only do this or you only make that, whatever? Because there's many of us that are affected by this.
Because
And I wasn't. Go ahead.
the reason why they have qualifications, that you have to qualify to receive this $1,200, and if you have any children, is because the ones that's hard hit about that has been affected by COVID-19 is not everybody financially, because you have people that make over $200,000 a year, and they're still making over 200,000 a year, because they probably um owners of a business or something of that nature, that have other options if their business is being affected.
Mm-hmm.
So the most hard hit that has been affected by COVID, excuse me, 19, is the working, the underpaid working individuals. So the ones that make under 150,000 a year is basically really affected by the COVID-19. So that's why they have guidelines as to the reason of they have guidelines of who can qualify to get a stimulus check.
Okay.
Now, this
Mm,
second go around, it's a lot of people that's going to be upset, because what they are talking about is people that make $40,000 a year or less are the ones that is going to get this second round of stimulus money, which is not, it's going to make a lot of people upset, because there are people that qualify for the first round. Why isn't it that they can't have that same qualifications, to whereas it's going to benefit everybody that qualified in the first round
right.
versus the second round? My theory is the reason why giving that $40,000 limit income guideline is it's going to save the government money with this second stimulus check.
Mm. Or maybe
Because
it's gonna save them money so they could give it to the schools and not cut.
no, negative,
Negative.
negative.
Mm.
Because the CARES Act that they passed and this other um CARES package that they're going to pass, none of that money is going to go to schools. That school funding, school, all that is something totally separate. It has nothing to do with this CARES package. This CARES package is basically helping out the the underpaid American people. Now, it's also going to, for the ones that's still on unemployment, it's going to reduce that $600 that you were receiving on top of your regular unemployment. Oh, that's going to be reduced.
Oh wow,
So,
this
yeah,
is new.
yeah. So you have to this second round is going to disappoint a lot of people.
So, because I know with one article I read, it was talking about how it's gonna be more than the first. So I guess that's whoever is writing these things. That's their opinions and assumptions, but it's
Mm,
really not the actual truth.
exactly.
Mm,
Exactly. So
okay. Now, will it still be to where households with children get that additional, what is it, 500 per child?
yeah, you're still gonna get the if you have children, you're still gonna get that additional.
All right, well, I need to go get me some children.
If you qualify for the first one and you didn't have any kids and you ain't
I
going,
know.
you can't get no kids on for the second one.
Oh, Lord.
So
Oh, I need a baby. I need a baby.
then that means it's too late for that.
I know, because if they try to pass it by August, yeah, it's a little late.
Yeah, you can't conceive and carry a baby to full term and deliver it within a month. It's not gonna happen. I mean, you
So,
can't. Wait a minute. You can't. Let me back that up. Let me reiterate.
mm,
You can't. You can't conceive and carry a baby for a month, but if you have it 9 times out of 10, it's not gonna be. You're not gonna survive. It's not gonna survive. That's just basically gonna be a miscarriage if you basically, deliver after a month. So yeah.
so with that, okay, so since you brought that up, see, a question came to mind. Now, say for instance, if I was already pregnant,
No.
I wouldn't qualify for that additional,
No.
even though I'm with child.
No. The baby is not born. It's not alive. It does not have a social security number. No.
Okay, all right, gotcha. I'm just, asking in case others may think like I think, because
Mm-mm.
I'm,
No.
no, this ain't all fat. This is okay, all right. Well,
All right.
eh,
So
I'm just saying, you know. I'm just hey, it is what it is. I'm just trying to, try to get a little piece of the pie. You know. But
okay.
well, the next point that we're wrapping up was reverting back to, I guess we kind of touched on it, the phase 2 here in Nashville, or the reopening because of the fact of the number of cases. So I don't know if you want to add more to that, but that's kind of basically it.
I just want to add, as far as not only just in Nashville, just as a whole, with all the states by reopening. I really do think that the states rushed to
Hmm.
reopen because of economical reasons
Right.
and all of that. They still rushed to open everything back up to whereas, and I know that Nashville is the only city in Tennessee that I know that have reverted back to the phase two of the opening as far as like you know having restaurants being 50 going back to 50% capacity,
Right.
um mandating that when you are in public you need to wear a mask. It is mandated that you wear a
And
mask.
definitely, if not, you'll be cited and be fined up to $50.
Yes.
Um,
So
the limited gathering is 25 people.
right, so it's more or less they it's not they don't it was you can have your gatherings but do social distancing regardless of the number of people. Now they done reverted back to no more than, actually it's 25 people,
Yeah, that's
no more than 25 people, and practice social distancing. And
right.
that was only for 14 days. Next week that 14 days is going to be up.
Right.
So,
And
so therefore, after next week, everything is gonna. Well, I can't say that everything is gonna go back to phase three. They're going to look into seeing if they need to stay in phase two, or they can move forward back to phase three of reopening Nashville.
but the thing is, it wouldn't be an issue if people just wear their mask and do the social distancing. It's not that hard. But
Well,
it's more or less like once they started opening up, took that lockdown off, it's like we broke out, like as if breaking out of jail, like, oh, we free now. We could do whatever. But then this started happening with these numbers going up. Oh no, gotta go back. So, and a lot of businesses and restaurants really, I don't think probably was practicing. Well, I can't say, but
well, no, you know that they wasn't practicing because even on the news, downtown Broadway, once they
oh,
opened up and they let these bars open, you should have seen all those people that was in the bars, no mask, no social distancing, just having a good old time.
like a family reunion.
Not even a family reunion. It's just like they was packed in the bars like sardines
Yeah, because
because they wanted to get out. Oh, we, like you said, we free. Now we getting ready to go down here and go down to these bars and have a good
party,
old time.
drink.
And not knowing that you are asymptomatic and you could be
Right.
on this virus to people that have weakened immune systems, and now they're sick. And what about these young kids that you know oh,
Or
I need to talk about this. These young kids, I believe it's in Oregon or somewhere, I believe it was Oregon, that they had a party. They was having parties, and they knew that an affected person was there, but they having this party to have this affected person there just to see how many people is going to get infected by COVID.
are you serious?
I am so serious. Oh, where have you been? We're watching the news.
I be in my cocoon in a corner.
Yes, these
Wow.
kids, they actually had planned a party and made sure that there was somebody there that was had COVID-19, and everybody, all these kids was at this party, and they wanted to see how many kids got
Wow.
got infected with COVID-19.
Now, what's the ages like? What's the age bracket we're talking
like
of this?
college kids.
Really?
Yeah, and some of them got infected, and I believe a couple of people died from it. And because on one I think Good Morning America, yeah, it was Good Morning America, had one family on there to whereas before the girl passed away, because she did pass away, because she one of the ones that went to the party and she got COVID-19, and she actually passed away. And before she even passed away, she said it that I made the biggest mistake of my life by going
Mm,
to that party.
mm. Oh
And she
my
passed away
goodness!
from it.
Wow. Now that right there, that should be like an eye opener. And a lot of people still don't take this thing serious. Like,
And it has hit, and it has hit personally with me because I have a family member that has it,
right.
and I have, classmates that contracted it. One of our classmates passed away from it. Um, Another one of my classmate parent just passed away from it.
Wow.
Her
It's
sister,
real.
her sister and her mother had it, but they recovered from it, but her father passed away from it.
So your classmate and her mom had it.
No, my classmate, her mom, her sister, and her dad contracted
Okay.
COVID-19.
But them two survived except for the dad.
Right.
Oh wow.
And
Mm.
just one of my Facebook friends, he just posted 2 days ago. He lived in Atlanta. That now he has COVID-19, and he worked for the city of Atlanta
Mm.
in sanitation.
Mm.
And he just posted that he has COVID-19.
Yeah, it's real.
And one of Jackie's skate buddies, I was just looking at his video that he did a couple of days ago. He's fighting it. So it ain't nothing to play with. Ain't nothing to
Right.
play with.
It really isn't. So
And
that's
everybody
why.
and
All right.
everybody keeps saying, "Oh, this is political." It's the Democrats that's blowing this out of proportion. How the Democrats gonna blow COVID-19 out of proportion? The Democrats this and the Democrats that. First of all, this is not a Democrat disease. It's a disease that's
Nor
killing
a
people.
yeah, it has nothing to do with
It has nothing,
politics.
right, and it has nothing to do with politics. COVID-19 has absolutely nothing to do with politics. It's a
Nothing.
disease.
Hmm.
It's a virus that's killing people, and that they ain't got nothing to do with politics.
Exactly.
So people, stop it.
Mm.
Stop saying that it's political. It's the Democrats. It's the Republicans. It ain't got nothing to do with none of them.
Right.
It's a virus that's killing people.
And to end on that note, to end this, they better start wearing their masks too,
Yeah.
from the head on down, because what's that article
Oh,
about President Trump
yeah.
visiting the hospital?
Yeah, he visited the veteran hospital today, and visiting the serviceman that is in the hospital that has been affected by COVID-19. But you see him with his mask on and everybody that's standing behind him got his mask on. And this is his first time out in public with a mask on. Yeah, bro, you're going into a hospital. It doesn't matter that you the president of the United States. Put on that mask. You
Right.
visiting people that's been affected by this disease, and you talking about how you don't feel as though you need to wear a mask, bro. You got it on today. You had it on today, because if you didn't have it on, you wasn't going into that hospital. Period. With a D. D D D D D. Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark.
Oh, okay. Are you done?
I'm
'Cause
done.
he's all right. So, in other words, stay safe and protect yourself.
And if you want more details on how COVID-19 is coming along, you can always visit the CDC website. That's www.cdc.gov. That's www.c as in cat, D as in David, C as in cat.gov. Not .com, .gov.
Yes. And then we'll have all detailed information as far as what the virus is, the symptoms, how to protect yourself, whatever is on the website. And they do update periodically. So,
Every day, actually.
pretty much, yes. So, I have enjoyed this show. Um, Please tune in next time. Please subscribe to our channel on YouTube, The Mac Show. And we're out.
Bye.
Bye.